Namaste to all. A beautiful Srimad Bhagavad Gita shloka 2/62. Dhyayato vishayan pumsaha sangasteshu pajayate sangat samjayate kamaha kamat krodho abhijayate. Very simple, easy to understand shloka. I made a video some 2 years back or 3 years back. I made a video, Gita or Vedas. I made that video for a propaganda by ISKCON saying that Vedas are not needed, only Gita is enough. So I made a video to explain that do we need Gita or Vedas? It's very relevant for all the time. We must have the knowledge of Vedas to understand Gita. Of course, the meaning of the shlokas, for example, there are 700 shlokas in the Bhagavad Gita. The literal meaning of the shloka we can understand by reading other books written by so-called self-declared Swamijis. We can understand the meaning. For example, out of 700, at least 500 shloka meaning we can understand just by reading any book. The rest 200 we may not be able to understand because those shlokas have got very deep secrets. So may not be able to understand. But at least more than 60-70% of Gita shloka we can understand the literal meaning by any book, by reading any book. But we cannot understand the meaning what was there inside the heart of Sri Krishna when he spoke to Arjuna by reading any other book. Only a book written by a Vedic philosopher, only a book written by a Samadhist yogi who is equivalent to Sri Krishna, only that book can explain to us the significance of each and every shloka and how do we link it to our life. And this shloka is a very important shloka for all of us. Everybody of us in this world, except one or two who is Samadhist yogi or great tapasvis, except a few in this world, rest all of us have this problem. Here Sri Krishna says, Vishayan dhyayatah. Dhyayata means to meditate or to dhyan karna, to contemplate. Arjuna, Pumsaha means the jivatmas, the nar nari, whoever it may be, male or female. What we do, we contemplate on the objects of senses. Objects of senses means whatever satisfy my sense organs, I contemplate. For example, some people, like beautifully told by Adi Shankaracharya ji, Balah tavat krida saktah. In the young age, when he is in Bala Avastha, he has only one thing he wants to play. Krida saktah, Balah tavat. Tarunah tavat taruni saktah. When he grows, he becomes a teenage or he becomes 20 years like that. That person always contemplate on the opposite sex. Tarunah tavat taruni saktah. And then what happens is he gets into attachment and later on at the old age, vriddha tavat chinta saktah. At the old age, after retirement, or let's say after 50 years, 60 years of age, he has only chinta, he has only worries. Because he did not do what he is supposed to do in the young age. Then parame brahmaniko apina saktah. Nobody contemplates on Almighty God. We all contemplate on the sensual objects for us. We don't understand who is Almighty God. There are so many videos. For example, when you see the videos of great scientists, great so-called scientists, like say Stephen Hawking or many people who have this, deep flavor to research about this universe creation. Many scientists in the Western world, if you see those videos, they all will prove that there is no Almighty God. But they miss the fundamentals. Of course, I have made several videos. I will come to the topic later on. So parame brahmaniko apina saktah. Nobody is contemplating on Almighty God. Nobody is thinking on Almighty God. Nobody needs Almighty God today. This is what Adi Shankaracharya says, and it is 100% truth. This is what here Sri Krishna says, Dhyayato vishayan punsah. You do the contemplation on the objects of those things which is satisfying your senses. In the school, if you go, there will be people behind a boy is behind thinking about the girl, whether she will like me or not, how do I talk to her. This kind of things is very common in school and college nowadays. And when you go to working environment, the people is always thinking about their career growth. How do I make more money? Yes, how do I make more money is not a bad thought, but that is not our life's purpose. Our money is going to satisfy our body, not ours. Not ourself, not the Jivatma. So here Sri Krishna says, Dhyayato vishayan punsah. What will happen when you contemplate on the objects of the materialist or the sense organs? What will happen? teshu sangaha upajayate. It will slowly lead to attachment. So that boy has so much attachment towards that girl. The working man has so much attachment towards his career path, earning money. He's always thinking on money only, whether I will invest in this stock or that stock. How do I please my boss so that I can get my increment? What I should do to do much extra hard work to earn more money? So many thinking he contemplates. Similarly, in Grihastha, the housewife is planning so many things. Weekend, this party karenge, wo party karenge, somebody will come, okay, let's plan, go together, go out. This kind of thing, contemplating goes on and on to satisfy the materialistic, the sensual needs. So what will happen is sangaha, that will lead to the attachment. And that is called as sanga dosha. Attachment means, for example, I am living in this room, I am attached to this room. I am attached to my house, I am attached to my mobile phone, I am attached to my mic. If somebody takes my mic, then I am totally lost. Oh, I cannot do anything. I am attached to my car so much that somebody, a bicycle guy passes near my car and then small scratch he makes. Yesterday it happened. There was a small scratch. Then what happens? I am totally stuck in that attachment. I am attached to that car. Then what happens? I get krodh. I shout at him. Of course, I did not shout, but I am just telling this is what is happening today. So here, that is what Sri Krishna says, sangaha upajayate. Upajayate means it grows. What grows? Your attachment towards that, satisfying that sensual needs. Then what happens is sangat kamaha sanjayate. So because of you have the contemplation, kamaha means desire. The desire to satisfy that will arise inside you. Because of your attachment, there is a desire to satisfy that sensual object. The boy is having the desire to have that girl, that she has to be my lover, she has to become my wife, she has to talk to me, like that. That desire arises. Similarly, the person who is working in company has a similar desire. Similarly, a grihastha has got other desires. Everything is behind the materialism, behind the sensual objects. That's what Sri Krishna says. And Sri Krishna says a beautiful thing. Then what happens is, because of the desire, kamat krodha abhijayate. From the desire, what will arise is krodh. Krodh means anger. But how the desire converts into anger is an inner secret. There are two things that will happen here in this instance. The moment I achieve something, there are two things. If I attain that sensual needs, then what will happen? Rag will emanate. Again and again I need that sukh. Again and again people need the sukh of calm, krodh, etc., etc. Again and again. If I get the object of satisfaction. If I don't get the object of satisfaction, then I will get krodha. I will get anger. So as a result of my dhyayate, my contemplating on the sensual needs, end of the thing, from the contemplation, it comes to my it comes to the attachment, then desire, then the satisfaction of desire will lead to lust, the dissatisfaction of desire will lead to anger. So we are totally now entrapped. Who are we? We are Jivatma. Jivatma does not need even food to eat. Jivatma does not need even water to drink. Body needs it for sure. So, but we don't understand we are Jivatma. So what we need is basically because of Sanga dosh. Sanga dosh means I assume I am the Jivatma, but I assume that I am not. I assume that I am the body. So I am totally behind the needs of the body, neglecting who am I. And this solution is available only in the Vedas. When you listen Vedas from an Acharya, the Acharya will teach you that you are Jivatma from the Vedic mantras, and Acharya will teach you how will you realize that you are Jivatma. Gita does not teach you. Gita gives the guidelines. And similarly, my Acharya has beautifully written a Veda mantra. He has written the 34th chapter of Yajurveda, 6 mantras. The mantra, there is a prayer. Tanme manah shiva sankalpamastu. That we are praying to Almighty God that everything is due to my mind. So, hey Almighty God, I am praying to you, make my mind pure. Shiva sankalpam. Shiva sankalpamastu means make noble thoughts in my mind. I pray to you, I submit to you. Because of the mind only wars are happening. Because of the mind only everything is possible happening, within and outside the human beings. Because of the mind. And mind is non-alive matter. There is a Purusha Sukta mantra, my Acharya has beautifully explained. Chandrama Manasah Jayata. There is a Purusha Sukta mantra. Like people have explained this mantra as from the moon mind is created. No. From the moon mind is not, that's not the real interpretation. The interpretation is very, very secretive. My Acharya explained that, see, moon derives the light from the sun derives the light from the Almighty God. Almighty God is the one who gives light to sun, and moon is a reflecting entity. The sunlight is reflected by moon. Similarly, the mind is related to moon because mind is jad. Jivatma gives the light to moon, light to mind. So mind is non-alive, but it acts as if it is an alive matter. So moon in the sky, when you see the moon in the sky, the full moon, you think that it's a burning object or it's a light in the sky, but that light is actually sunlight. Similarly, the act of mind is in such a way that it acts as if it's a Chetan Tattva, whereas mind is non-alive. The mind derives the energy from the Jivatma and it acts as if it is the Jivatma. And we also think that whatever mind is thinking, we must satisfy the mind. We do not understand the difference between mind and Jivatma. God says in the Ved mantra in Yajurveda 40th chapter that you must control the mind. If you do not control the mind, you are called as Asura. If you control the mind, you become a Deva. So you must control the mind. You must understand that mind is asking you to do that sensual needs. You must understand that do you need that? You don't need that because that is an obstacle in realizing Almighty God. So you must control your mind. This is the secret of Vedas. So my Acharya has explained that when you do everyday yajna, when we do everyday Agnihotra, when we listen Vedas from an Acharya, slowly, repeatedly we must listen. Every day we must listen Vedas whenever possible. But today, we are totally stuck in the sensual objects. So we don't listen Vedas for sure today. But when we start listening and when we start worshipping Almighty God, when we know that Almighty God is the controller of the universe and He has the power to control my mind, if I practice to control my mind, He will help me. When we do the Ashtanga Yoga every day, Yam Niyam, etc., then slowly our mind will come into control. And then what will happen is we can control this Kam, Krodh, Madh, Lobha, Ahankar. And further Sri Krishna says in the next sloka, from the Krodha, what will happen is Krodha bhavati sammoha. From the Krodha, because of anger, I will do everything possible, mistake. Sammoha means murta. I will take actions in mood avastha. When I get anger, right, whatever I do, sometimes I shout at my parents, sometimes I shout at the elders. Some people misbehave in front of Acharya also. Some people misbehave in the office because of anger, and anger is arising due to the desire, unsatisfied desire, and desire is due to contemplating on the sensual object. See the linkage. So Sri Krishna says, Krodhat bhavati sammoha sammohat smriti vibhramaha. So Smriti means our memory. We will lose our memory. We will lose what is the situation. We will lose everything. Sometimes, in anger, like 2-3 days back, there was a interview and Elon Musk was asked one question. Elon Musk used a bad word, like for the advertiser. Whether he can use that words? No, as per me, no. He has not seen what is going to happen as the after effect. He used a very bad word. Maybe, because of anger, that interviewer is asking something. He says, fuck the advertisers. I don't bloody care for advertisers. So this is because of the krodh. So from when the anger is aroused, he forgets where is he sitting, what is he doing. If the advertisers is not investing or advertising in his platform, he will lose revenue, right? He's not thinking that he's a businessman, but he's supposed to think that. So because of his ahankar, ego, he loses. Then, next day I saw many people that we are not going to advertise in Twitter anymore. Like that, many companies have told. Because of, this kind of anger, this happens. Maybe that is a drama, I don't know. But, this kind of things I have seen, or we have seen, that in the Krodha, we lose our smriti. We lose the memory. We don't understand what is the reality because of the Krodha. And further Sri Krishna says, Smriti Brahmashad Buddhinasho. Then the intellect is destroyed. And when the intellect gets destroyed, our life is totally destroyed. We must understand this very, very carefully. That's why we have a prayer in Gayatri Mantra, Diyo Yonah Prachodayad, make my intellect, Diyo Yonah Prachodayad, make my, hey Almighty God, give the knowledge of Vedas in my intellect. Let my intellect understand which is Jad, which is Chetan, which is Nitya, which is Anitya, which is sadness, which is happiness, which is pleasure, which is pain. Please give me that knowledge, O Almighty God. Almighty God gives that knowledge through the Vedas. So we are praying in Gayatri Mantra to make our intellect and mind pure by the Vedic knowledge. So here Sri Krishna says the linkage between starting from contemplation on the sensual objects up to the Nash, Buddhi Nashat Pranashyati. Pranashyati means our life gets destroyed by when the intellect is destroyed. So this must be clearly understood. But how can we overcome this? We can overcome this only by daily tapasya, daily upasana. By chanting Ram Ram Krishna Krishna, we cannot overcome this. By chanting, going to temple and then praying to that Almighty God who is not Almighty God, we cannot overcome this. Or doing namaz or going to church, we cannot overcome this. We can overcome this by everyday intense Ashtanga Yoga Tapasya, serving an Acharya. When you start serving an Acharya, you will develop humbleness within you. You will know that there are so many great wise men who are so much superior in knowledge, but he is more humble than me. So you will develop humbleness further. So when you serve an Acharya, you will develop that humbleness within you. And when you are humble, you will not contemplate, like when you constantly serve the Acharya, everyday worship, you will not contemplate on the objects of senses. We will slowly stop contemplating on the objects of senses. When you see some sensual attraction, you will immediately, your mind will wake up that this is not Nitya, this is Anitya. Let me not go in this direction. Let me go to my Almighty God. Let me go to my Acharya. Immediately your mind will act towards your Acharya and the Vedic path. And this will come from the Vedas only. And that is the knowledge given by Sri Krishna to Arjuna. So this is a very, very important thing for our life. This is a life teaching of Sri Krishna to Arjuna, which we don't understand because we do not have the Vedic knowledge. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.